All right, today we are diving deep into wallet mastery. And look, this is a foundational skill for anyone who's serious about their assets. We're going to completely change how you think about your wallet, transforming it from just a simple digital pocket into a powerful, secure operating system for your entire on-chain life. So let me ask you something right off the bat. Does your wallet do everything? I mean, are you using the exact same wallet to mint NFTs, to play around in DeFi, and to hold your most valuable long-term assets? Look, if you answered yes, you're definitely not alone. But it is, without a doubt, one of the absolute riskiest things you can do in this space. And today, we're going to fix that.
To get there, though, it takes a fundamental shift in your mindset. It's all about moving away from just chasing convenience and starting to think in terms of intentional, deliberate architecture. Honestly, this is the core difference between a casual retail user and a truly sovereign operator.
And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. On the left, you've got the retail mindset. It's all about what's easy, right? One wallet for everything, click, 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 get it done fast. But the sovereign operator on the right, that's a whole different ballgame. It's about intentional design, using separate wallets for separate jobs to wall off risk, and consciously, actively minimizing all the ways you could possibly be attacked. So here's the big idea. The one thing you really need to get. Your wallet isn't just a place where your crypto lives. That's a massive misconception. It is actually an access and signing tool. Every single time you connect to a site or sign a transaction, you are using that wallet to govern your identity, your permissions, and your assets on the blockchain. It is your command center.
Okay, so now that we get why this shift is so critical, let's get into the what. What do you actually need to build a better system? Well, your new toolkit is made up of 3 core types of wallets, and each one has a very specific job to do.
First up, the hot wallet. This is the one most people are familiar with. It's connected to the internet, you use it for all your day-to-day stuff, swapping tokens, minting NFTs, using DeFi apps. It's super convenient for sure. But because it's always online and always interacting with things, it has, by far, the highest exposure to risk.
Next, we have its exact opposite, the cold wallet. Now think of this thing as your digital Fort Knox. It is designed for one thing, long-term storage of your core reserves, your treasury. It has minimal, and I mean ideally zero interaction with live applications. This keeps its exposure incredibly low and gives you the best possible protection for those assets you simply cannot afford to lose.
And finally, we have the operational wallet. This is the crucial piece that sits right in the middle, bridging that gap between security and activity. It's your working wallet. You fund it with a limited amount of capital from your cold storage, and you use this wallet for your active strategies and day-to-day stuff. This setup ensures your main treasury is never, ever directly exposed to the risks of being active on-chain. This table just brilliantly shows you the trade-offs. You see, for your hot wallet, the benefit is convenience, but the price you pay is high exposure. With your cold wallet, you get maximum protection, but the biggest risk actually becomes you making a mistake. And that operational wallet, that's your sweet spot, giving you controlled risk for your active strategies. Each tool has a very clear, defined purpose in your system.
All right, enough theory. Let's see how all these pieces actually fit together into a practical blueprint. We're moving from ideas to an actual system you can go and set up right now.
But before we even get to the blueprint, here is the golden rule. You have to burn this into your brain. Do not use one wallet for everything. When you do that, you're creating a massive single point of failure. One bad signature could wipe you out. Why? Because of concentration risk and something called approval sprawl. That's where one wallet has given permissions to dozens and dozens of different contracts over time.
So here's the system. Simple. Step 1, your foundation is the vault. That's your cold wallet for long-term storage, period. Step 2, your operations wallet, which you fund from the vault with a limited balance for your normal activities. And then step 3, the burner wallet. This is a hot wallet with almost nothing in it, used for all the high-risk stuff. Sketchy new mints, untested protocols. If it gets compromised, who cares? Your losses are tiny.
But look, having the right structure is only half the battle. Now we need to talk about the daily habits, the rules of engagement that a sovereign operator follows to make sure that structure actually stays secure.
This right here is your transaction hygiene checklist. These are totally non-negotiable. You have to slow down before you sign anything. You never ever signed a transaction you don't fully understand. No blind signing. You have to regularly go back and revoke old permissions you're not using anymore. And of course, double-check every single URL and contract address. This kind of discipline is what separates the pros from the people who get wrecked.
And to bake this into your brain, you need to internalize these 3 questions. Before any click, any signature, any transaction, just stop for a second and ask yourself, 1. Which wallet is the right tool for this job? 2. Is what I'm about to get worth the risk I'm taking on? And 3, critically, what's my absolute worst-case scenario if this goes wrong? That simple little pause is your single best defense.
I really want to leave you with this final, crucial point. The blockchain itself, it's incredibly secure. Most of the catastrophic losses you hear about don't happen because the chain failed. No way. They happen because an operator, a person, made a mistake. They signed something they shouldn't have, they approved a malicious contract, or they just failed to structure their wallets correctly. The power and the responsibility is all in your hands. So the only question left is, how are you going to structure your operations from now on?